yes. Go block out the pain.
We need better microphones than this. We need Rogan microphones.
We need to be rich.
Is this screen still fucking up? Whatever.
This is Rubin. What do you say?
Alright, so I thought we were going to be done with recording today. But he played a clip from, I guess, Rogan's podcast today with Dave Rubin. And they were talking about incels, involuntarily celibate people.
The WCW guy in the background just goes like this in an interview. This makes a man.
Yeah, let's watch this shit.
Wait, you ever see what's it called? Disney movie, Chinese girl.
Mulan?
Yeah. I'll make a man out of you. Dun, 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 dun. Bench press. Dun, dun.
Don't remember that movie too well.
Really?
Yeah, I was past my prime at that point.
Weren't you like 5?
Mulan?
Yeah.
I was in like 8th grade.
Really?
Right? I don't know.
It's the 90s.
It's like, no, I just gave away my age. The 4chan guy was like...
He has to be in his early 30s.
Date the time. The wind speed.
It's like...
He found his coordinates.
No, it's like he's like this. He's like... in the air. The wind speed trajectory is this. It's an acute angle. Alright.
So then you don't have to do the legwork of
I can't hear him.
Where's my sound at?
He's speaking in sign language.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
No? That's all right. Why isn't that
We
working?
have poor production.
Yeah,
No one funds us. Hey, advertising. Yeah.
what happened? Seriously, what happened to that?
I think we just suck, man. We just. We are so bad. Then it's like the volume's so loud.
It's a lot harder to take a position that says you should be who you are and you have to fit that into society rather than saying this is what the moral imperative is. This is why we need those laws, and if you deviate from that, you're the bad guy. So unfortunately, they've just embraced that, I think, too much. So it's like one of those things, like when I go to these colleges and I'm usually invited by libertarians, and it's like libertarians want low taxes and limited government and live how you want to live, right? Like that's the basics of it. But they'll often say, I talk about low taxes in a college class and people say I'm racist. And it's like, well, how does race get into that? But what they will say is that, well, wait a minute. If you want low taxes, that means you don't want money going to people who need it more. And often it is people of color who need it more. So you inherently are
The
racist.
colored people.
You have to think on how to
Yes.
make the counter argument to that. I think there's a very valid counter argument that I buy into. But you have to think. It's very easy to just take somebody who thinks the reverse of you and go, you're racist.
Right.
You're racist.
It's such a
I
lazy,
think this way.
Such a lazy way to approach an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so lazy.
This has nothing to do with
The
incels
only
so far.
problem with what Jordan has been saying lately is this idea of enforced monogamy being the solution to incels. These involuntary celibates.
Yeah.
That's not going to help.
So what do you think?
We have done a video on that.
We did. Yes, we did. Yes.
So
Conclusion was it's Republicans.
check that out if you feel like. We agree with Rogan. To that part that enforced monogamy
we were all driving.
doesn't help shit.
We were all driving on the same road, and then
this happens.
Two roads approach.
They have to become men.
Well, what do you think his definition of enforced monogamy is?
Well, culturally enforced monogamy, where people, you know, the culture encourages and supports the idea of monogamy.
Yeah, marriage. In effect, he's talking about. He's just talking about marriage, and
but that's not going to clear the way to people that no one wants to fuck. It's just not going to. The idea is that there's a bunch of men out there that are taking up all the viable females because no one's getting married, and there's no room for these incels. No, they are not attractive to women, whether they're not physically attractive. You tell me Harvey Weinstein was physically attractive? That fucking disgusting pig. Forget about what he did to those women, or the rapes or the sexual assaults. He had a gorgeous wife.
Yeah.
His wife was gorgeous. That was a voluntary relationship.
External beauty.
How did that happen?
Yes.
It happened through success. It happened through
So he may have slipped up and said,
possibly,
well, they need to be a man. And then he equated that with Harvey Weinstein.
So you have to be a man, a man's man.
You have to be a man, and being a man means being successful.
And attractive.
Successful, confident. Sure. Successful, confident, and
if you're not attractive, you have to
attractive.
You have to, and if you're not attractive, we'll find out. What happens if you're not attractive?
None of these are subject to conditioning, of course. Attractive is just attractive.
It's been here for the eons of time. Eons of time. Yes. In the before time, before the touch screen times,
and
attractive men ruled the world.
Yeah.
Elvis Presley.
And what he's saying might be taken like as an isolated incident within this. I'm not saying what he's saying is bad. I'm saying it's wrong, but I'm not saying it's a bad thing to say.
It's evil.
I'm saying within this little window of him saying this, always brings about this larger argument of what is attraction and shit like that. Is it just some evolutionary, which I think he believes, as just some evolutionary thing?
It's like Hogan in the videos, where he's not talking, he's just like
to where the strong and handsome guys attracted women, you know, throughout evolution, you know, survival of the fittest, and the guys who weren't so good looking happened to be smart. So that's how they kept reproducing.
they survived. That's how.
It's like,
What's going on? What's wrong with this? You know,
beauty is not a genetic trait passed on. It may be a type of look, yeah, but beauty is not. Beauty is not attached to. It's not.
there's this
It's not the physical thing itself. It's what someone puts on, what someone's meaning puts onto some sort of physical thing. Same thing with intelligence.
The world's most sexiest man of the year is based off external looks, and our conditioned is
the guy we see all the time on every commercial and all my movies, who gets the biggest roles. That guy.
No, it's Phil, who has been outside once this whole year. Since we now live in a surveillance society, we know as a fact that only 2 people have seen Phil this whole year. So it's just decision. The most attractive man is Phil. Thank you. It's like, come on, man. Come on. Harvey Weinstein? Like,
is there... Okay, you could say it's evolutionary, whatever, survival of the fittest. That the reason why we consider good looking. But can't that be conditioned, too?
yeah.
What if there was, like, some... Way back in the day, this group of like legit dudes, like morally and all that shit.
Yeah, they ride on their motorcycles.
And they just happen to look a certain way. And then all the women, they attracted all the women.
Hair comb back.
And then that became good looking.
They use that muscle jaw workout.
Or our society is conditioned toward hyper masculine observations of the world. As in, this has to be symmetrical or it's ugly.
What's that? It's not symmetrical. Listen, we have options now in video games. You too can be perfect. It's like, fucking what? Listen, everybody, listen. Look at the celebrities, and by celebrities, I mean of reality shows whose names will not be mentioned on this podcast ever again. See, she didn't like herself, and she wasn't symmetrical. Look at her now. She's perfect.
So if there are people that believe that there's such thing as objective beauty externally, as in certain type of features means beauty, then you need to
go fuckers. I'm just kidding.
Watch the movie Black Swan. Tell me what you got from it. It might not be much, but then I'll re-explain the movie. Just don't want to spoil it right now.
So you think lesbians should be in charge of the world, huh? That's what I got from it. Yes.
Yeah, see if he says anything else about this shit.
Success and confidence and whatever the fuck else he's got, intellect. I don't know what his mind's like. These incels,
tits, ass, and paychecks.
Men, okay? And there's
Jordan's all about that. I mean, his whole message.
He's all about.
I just don't think
tits,
that
ass, and paychecks.
Enforced monogamy has any factor whatsoever in that.
So I think he would say this, but I'm not his lawyer. But I think he used the phrase. All he meant was marriage. That generally societies that more people are married
okay, then
and
let's
people
just say
remain
it's married.
Right. So
it's not going to help.
I think perhaps if he was being interviewed again by her, he would use a different phrase.
But even if it says marriage is not going to help incels. These guys that are involuntary celibates, they have to become attractive. So they have to become men.
Well, the rest of his men.
You have to become Dan Brazilian. That's how you say his name, right?
Yeah.
The guy who had 2 heart attacks, takes pictures with him and all these women that are basically either strippers or they're what do you call them? You call them up, it's like an agency, and they fucking just go places with you. Escorts, something like that, allegedly.
Call girls.
Yeah. He gets them all in fucking outside, laying down on their beach beds, pictures of their ass. He's like, "This is a man. This is a man. I just paid for this jaw. This is a
man."
It's is it I hope that's not where we're going. I'm not trying to make fun of him, even though I do believe it's basically silly, but hey,
these things that he's putting out here need larger answers than need to become a man.
You need to be attractive. And to be attractive, you need to be a man. What does that mean?
Yeah. He said that.
Yeah, you mean like a man, as in well, I don't mean
Is attraction subjective or is it an actual thing? Which means, being a man, is that subjective or is that a physical thing?
It's a physical thing. You see,
I'd say it's both.
No, I'm just fucking with you, man.
Huh?
He ha he ha. Hoo. He ha ha ha.
Were you making a point? I thought you were making a point.
I was kind of trying. It's how silly it sounds, Fuck you.
Message is about that.
But they have to do difficult things.
Yeah.
That's what they have to do. They have to build confidence, get your shit together. And martial arts, I think, is one of the best ways to do that. I've seen so many men that were insecure and dorky, and they become fucking nerd assassins through martial arts.
You learn how to hurt someone.
So I think his solution is to do difficult things to build confidence and become a man, I guess.
Well, isn't that relative? Difficult?
Well, isn't that everyone? Shouldn't everyone do difficult things to become themselves?
Well, difficult to who? What if someone's like, well, I mean, I don't find it difficult. It's definitely going to be interesting, and they just...
I would consider it difficult.
I guess.
Consider the language isn't yours, your body.
Alright, fair enough.
Make yourself, things like that.
Yeah.
Conditioning, all of that. So yeah, I would say, well, that's everyone's goal, shouldn't it? To face the difficulty of seeing a world out here while understanding that there's a world in here. And most people just stick to out here, which is why being a man becomes this. hyper masculine mode of go get it, go get it, go get it.
Gotta be like Arnold. Not for the sport of bodybuilding, but because he's successful, he's a man.
How about reflect internally until you can't go any further? How about that?
Or whenever I hear someone's like, "Yo, Bill Clinton's the man," like, dude, go fuck yourself. Yeah. He's like, dude, he got all the girls, man. He's rich. He was the president, man. That dude was balling. I'm like, yeah, he'll be balling. Yeah.
I think it's a great way to build confidence, and
Oh, Kennedy,
I think
too.
there's an extreme lack of adversity, like physical adversity in a lot of people's lives.
Physical adversity.
And overcoming physical adversity is what leads to a lot of confidence in men.
You gotta lift that.
I just think that there's a lot of men that just have no idea whether they can or can't do anything difficult, and they have massive insecurity because of it.
Yeah, I think he would agree with every word.
I think you would too.
Every word that you just said there. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think
I
that
hope
marriage is
not.
not fixing it. You know, culturally enforced monogamy is not going to fix it.
I
They
hope.
have to become men.
Mm-mm.
And they have, the
Well, I think
woman
he
has
would-
to have a reason to want to have sex with you.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think
Listen, kid, if you can't bench press that 350 plate, then what's something wrong with you? Now lift it, and maybe Amanda will go to the pound with you. Now let's go. It's like, I'm not trying to shit on him. Maybe he's just shooting shit. I don't know.
I think
It's just
him, probably him too.
Mm.
Throw Peterson in there, and a lot of these guys all have this outward in approach to everything.
Outward in.
This, I don't know, throw something from the outside towards a person, and then it will fix some sort of problem.
Problems here though. Is that funny?
Everywhere.
It's like, listen, man. Even though these are gears that I've got from out here, these will fix yours inside somehow. Here. It's like, what? But they're not physical. They're fix it. Giving you the tools. You're not a man.
Yeah, I would say the physical activity is egotistically creating an illusion of confidence, because it's relative to everything else. It's relative to the conditioning that this means difficult, or this means strong, or this or that, and then I condition that to say that means confidence, as opposed to going in and looking for the source of confidence itself. Let's sit and observe confidence. Just take a day. Sit down and observe confidence itself, just like you can do with fear or happiness or whatever.
I'll say so.
Give it a shot. See what happens.
Before that, make sure you put 2 45-pound plates on both sides and gear up.
Yeah, go lift some weights so you know what confidence is first. And then
First, when you're doing bench press, make sure a girl sits on your lap when you're doing it. Make sure she stares at you, but pretend she's not there. And when you're done, rack it and ask, "Are you still here?" And then you'll be successful.
let's fix everything but the source of the problem in the first place. Just because you give your ego steroids doesn't mean what's underneath that is, content. You still have a storm of insecurity going on.
Insecurity for that 45-pound plate,
It'll just transform itself into some other topic.
like a deadlift. Let's go. Let's go. 500-pound plates for 6 reps. You are now a man.
Let's see if there's anything else interesting. Otherwise,
I'm not trying to put words in his mouth or anything. I'm just,
I don't think
it's just when he says that, and if he was here right now, he probably wouldn't say anything to us. But who knows? But he might be like, "Oh, guys, that's not what I meant." Even though, I see what I said made it sound kind of dumb, but
most likely, I think his idea is a lot more intricate.
sure.
You can hear it spelling out like a storyline throughout his podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Of you need to overcome something difficult. He said that a bunch of times before. Or what's the idea he talks about? Reward systems and shit like that. But all these ideas are
Oh yeah, you get the
biologically based. They're all outside in
Sure.
ideas.
You get the twister on someone and they pass out. They don't tap. They pass out. you get the bonus of the night. Reward system. No.
But yeah,
It was so painful.
you can't even, like, in my mind, I don't even know if he sees the things like he's trying to, he's doing these physical things to recreate something internal in nature, like the flotation tanks. It's like you're weightless. It's like you don't have your body there. You just sit there and meditate and stuff. Like, dude, you're simulating being in your mom's womb. Like, have you ever thought about that?
Yeah.
Like, you're trying to go back to the source of life itself.
Listen. We're going to meditate now. But first, you're going to play this music. This specific one at this key, okay? Now you're going to press play. But before you press play, cross your legs, okay? Now, before you press play, turn the volume down to a bit of a 7. Open your window slightly to a crack, you know. Make sure it's around dawn, you know. The sun's right there, okay? Now, we meditate. This is how we do it.
And you hit play.
He would agree with that. I think he would say that
This is
once
how you're
you
happy.
accomplish that's when you will find more women, and that the next step, the next natural progression in life is that you will find someone that you want to be partnered with, and that then has the best value for a society. But I don't want to completely state his case.
It's an interesting case.
Yeah, but
you know?
he completely, I mean, look, why is it that for the little bit that these articles get right about him, it's that he's helping men? He is.
Yes.
He is also helping women, but yes, he is helping men
Well,
just
men
get
need-
their shit together.
They need framework for sure.
He's not wrong.
People need this.
You
thing about
helped me
discipline
there.
And, you know,
Really?
Are you aware? You know, you're aware of Jocko, right? Jocko
Mhm.
Will.
Yeah,
Help me look
Discipline
at that
equals
critically.
freedom. It's like one of the best catchphrases. It's so accurate.
it's empowering.
It's so empowering. Get your shit together, and then you the time that you have for recreation, you'll appreciate it so much more. You don't appreciate rest when you're fucking off all day.
Yeah.
You appreciate rest when you've worked hard. That's when it means something to you. When you've accomplished goals. That's when this celebration.
I hope he doesn't mean, listen, come back from your 9-to-5 job, work hard, then you'll have time. No, I hope not. It's like, shouldn't your work be something that you fucking enjoy?
I think that's what he means.
I hope so. All right, I hope. Just want to make sure.
Based on past statements.
All right, fair enough.
Where he's like, talking about like how he hated school and stuff.
Yeah, me too.
It's like, it's just not for me. You gotta do something you really want to do and really work hard at.
Fair enough. Yeah, all right. I agree. I definitely, totally agree with that.
And is something that you get a good feeling from it.
Do you have a part in your life that you feel like?
By the way, that's for everyone though.
Sure.
Yeah, that's for everyone
Yeah.
and anyone, male or female. So
Well, let's not stretch it.
well, they're implying that
It's mainly for
incels is just seems to be leaned toward men only. That's what he says.
men who are Republican.
As in he keeps saying, you gotta become a man.
And to be a man, better put your name in that ballot for Republican. Doesn't matter who it is, it's a candidate. Remember, it's ideology, it's religion.
If there was any shot of Rogan actually watching this, as soon as he sees you beating your chest, he's gonna close the fucking window immediately. Sorry, Rogan.
Don't be sorry.
Like your show,
I'm
man.
being honest.
Fan sense, snowflakes.
I'm being honest,
Is
man.
lacking in that department?
In what department?
In just
He's
like
done that
putting your
shit, too.
together, like not slacking.
So.
on
No, I'm
something
pretty
kind of
good at
thing.
that.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I do a lot of shit. The only way I could ever do as many different things as I do is if I just get after it.
Yeah.
I get after it pretty fucking good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not insecure in that. I mean, whether it's through martial arts or any kind of exercise or work, I take pride in getting things done. I take pride in working.
Yeah.
You know, especially
so.
working toward.
They're going on about some other stuff now.
Well, who knows? Who knows?
I've heard enough.
We haven't heard enough. We don't know the full content of the video.
And it's interesting. It's just, I think he's placing himself on the world. And I think he's way more existential than he even realizes.
I've heard snippets of it.
Of how he places himself and how he feels and how he thinks and places it on the world.
Yeah.
He's like, when I was letting these kids do this at age 22, I was a fucking dumbass when I was 22. So he's like placing that you know, they're probably dumb when they're
I mean,
22.
I can get it. Yeah.
It's very existential. It's just too much Joe Rogan in the pot.
He's being honest.
Like,
That's
so
why when I do this,
I
I'm
get
being-
confidence.
I'm
when
being honest. It's peacocking.
I build confidence when I do difficult things. Alright, that's sort of a bland statement. That's sort of anybody. How about incels themselves? Oh, well, you gotta be a man. What does be a man mean? You gotta do difficult things so that you can, like, wait, that's everyone. What does be a man mean? Fuck.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not saying it's like I'm watching Alex Jones, but whenever I hear shit like that, it's like when you don't go into depth, it's like, well, what? Who's evil? What does that mean? What's evil?
Yeah.
How are you equating that to him being a socialist or leaning towards that? How is socialism evil? Is what we do with it the system itself, or is it just the system? What? Tell me. How? You're not saying anything. Who? How? What? Nothing. You know.
And it, yeah.
I'm not saying he doesn't do that. It's just, you know.
Well, he usually steps towards that spot of, well, I'm just dumb, man. I'm just some guy.
He ain't dumb. Man.
I'm some guy. I'm dumb. Alright, that's it.
We're all people, man.
Yeah.
Well, some of us.
Subscribe for some reason, and don't forget, thumbs down.